producer and actor. Lorna Paul, producer. Eric Curtis, the DP. Here. And John Negroponte, unit production manager.
Yeah, I wanted Eric actually to come down here, but I'll ask the first question, okay? Where are you, Eric?
Right here.
I get asked this question a lot in these sessions afterwards, and I never know how to answer it.
Yes, sir.
And where are you?
Right here. You go.
Yeah, okay. And so they asked me about day for night. We shot this movie, it was all during the day. It was all shot during the day. None of it was shot at night at all. And I don't understand the process. I can never explain it to anybody. So I'm going to let the DP let you know how it was.
We purposefully underexpose everything and then compensate for the darkness with really bright lights. Has highlights and edge lights to light you guys up. So it kind of tricks the world.
Speak up.
Oh, can you guys not hear me? Oh, sorry. So we kind of trick the world by underexposing the outside world and then bringing bright lights onto the subjects.
Yep.
To bring the ratio similar, and it kind of plays the trick. So that's how we did it.
Okay.
Well done.
I have to remember that. I already tried to accept it. I always get asked that. I'm always like, I don't know.
Do you want to ask questions, or we do have somebody who's supposed to moderate?
That's okay. Question is, first time director, why now, and how did this project come to be?
Well, really, I was actually kind of inspired. I was working with Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino on Grindhouse, and I was kind of aware of those movies. From when I was younger, my mom and dad used to take me to movies, and we would go to the drive-in movies, actually, and we'd see, like, Elizabeth Taylor and Paul Newman and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. That was like the main movie, and that was the movie that started at 8, but the one that started at like 6, when it was still kind of light out, usually had like Connie Stevens and Vic Morrow in it, and was like this. It was a B movie, made for not very much money at all. This movie was actually shot in 12 days, 12-hour days, which is, I've never worked on anything before that I had ever worked on that was shot in less than 24. And we shot this in, 24, for me anyway. Now they're making less and less digital, but anyway, this was shot in 12 days. So, I got this, idea when I was up in doing The Divide, which is a movie that I've got coming out on DVD and Blu-ray and so on and so forth in about a week or two, to do this, because I saw a kid reading Rebel Without a Crew, which is Robert Rodriguez's book. And that's why I gave him that credit at the end. And I just thought, well, maybe I'll go out and make a little movie. And I asked Jennifer if she would help me out, and see if there was a guy that had approached me with some money for another project that I didn't really want to do. And Jennifer introduced me to him, and there was a script that Jennifer showed me about a year ago that I didn't really want to do. It was called The Victim. It was a first-time script for what's his name?
Reed Lack. He was like more like a book.
Yeah, it's kind of a novella. It was a pig one rewrite. And then we went in and we hired Lorna, Denny, who's her boyfriend, and John, and we started putting a crew together. We actually did pre-production, which is basically putting a crew together and casting it and getting all your props, getting all your camera equipment, dealing with the Screen Actors Guild. You know, usually you want to do that when you have a script, so you know what you're doing. You know, each scene you say, okay, the prop department's going to need this, the camera's going to need this, we're going to need these many actors there, but there was no script. So everybody just kind of had to follow me around, and I would tell them we're going to need this, we're going to need that. So we did 3 weeks of pre-production. From the time that, see, a lot of times people come to me and they say, I want to make a movie, we've got money, will you do it? And I say yes, and then they turn around and they run around to other people and they go, I got Michael Biehn, will you give me money? Will you give me money? So a lot of times when people tell me they have money, they don't really have money. So I wasn't really expecting this guy to have the money, but he started writing checks and they started clearing. I thought, fuck man, I better write something, you know? So I remembered that old script called The Victim, and I rewrote it. It was what we call a page 1 rewrite, and we did pre-production during the day for 3 weeks, and I wrote the script at night for those 3 weeks, and then we rolled into a 12-day shoot. And we started the very first day doing a love scene, actually, that Jennifer and I's love scene. And a love scene, if there's any love scene in the movie, I guess. We did that because I still hadn't finished the script, and I was still working on the script. But I knew, okay, well, just a half a day I can be working on the script that I don't have to. I don't need words for. So that's kind of how it all came to be. And these people here, not him. He was just an actor.
Well, actually, he
Which is
actually
what I
helped
always-
with art department.
Yeah, well, if you notice
get a
at
credit,
the end of what we did with the credits, I don't think has ever been done before by any filmmaker that I've ever seen before, where we've actually shown the crew. Shown their faces. I guess you've got some questions for me, or us.
When you were rewriting the script, did it originally have Arizona in there, or did you?
No, it wasn't Arizona.
And did you draw from your experiences growing up here at all?
No, actually, what happened was, when we scouted it, we were scouting in LA, we were scouting Topanga Canyon. That's where we shot it in Los Angeles. And it was really hot when we were scouting a week or two before we started shooting. And I was like sweating like a dog, and I'd get up and like look for different shots and so on and so forth. And it was really hot, and I thought, God, man, we're going to be sweating really bad on this movie. And I thought, like, where can I set the movie that would seem like the sweat was there, it'd be hot, and so on and so forth. I was originally thinking Tucson, but you know, there's just really just that one mountain. And then I just got in my head Flagstaff, and so it kind of came about because I wanted a place that is in Arizona, so if the actors were all sweating, if it was up in the mountains, people would go like, why is everybody sweating so much? Well, as it turned out, the weather changed, and there's a couple shots of Jen with a little bit of a sweaty upper lip, but
I'm always sweating.
other than that, the weather was pretty good. So, I mean, that's really why I put it in Arizona. Yeah.
And this is for Jennifer and Denny. What's it like being directed by Michael? Obviously, you both have unique experiences with that. They'll certainly be fellow actors, among other things.
Well, he's kind of a maniac when he's directing. If you go to blancvieproductions.com and you go to the bottom of the page and you click on B/B, you can watch part of the making of and see him kind of running around the set. But trust anyone as much. I think he's terrific with actors, and I think I've always thought he should direct. So I think he's amazing.
Yeah, Michael, you definitely knew that it was going to be a long day, and that we're going to get a lot of shots of it. But he was really compassionate. Was one thing that he made you take your time and made sure that you got your moments because as an actor, it's like you really knew what to say and what to do to get you there. And when you got those moments, he was just as happy as you were. And that was the thing that I noticed. And it's like as much as we did shoot a lot. I mean, we shot, I think, 40 setup. How many setups was it, Eric?
In the 40s every day.
40 a
40,
day.
that's a lot, man.
Which is like moving the camera from like, close up to like, 2-shot to wide shot, going to another scene, shooting, 45 setups a day. One camera, we only have one camera, is a lot of shots. You work on a Jim Cameron movie, you do like 1 or 2 a day.
Eric Curtis actually once said something very, very funny on set, which will describe Michael as a director. Somebody other than Michael was telling him to do something, and he said, "I just want to make sure that's been approved, or someone's going to get a little loud." And the someone was that person.
I like to think of it as passion, and I'm a very passionate person, but a lot of times it comes out as people think I'm angry, and I don't, I'm proud to say that nobody quit, and I didn't fire anybody. I just did a lot of screaming and a lot of swearing, and I think the crew really had a lot of fun, and I was the only one that was kind of going out of my mind. And but really, you take, I've worked with, you take Jim Cameron, Billy Friedkin, Michael Bay, Val Kilmer, and roll them all into a ball on their worst day, and that was like me on this movie.
I'm going to just ask one more question, and then I'll open it up to everybody. You're talking about a 12-day shoot. Lauren and John, can you identify, some of those challenges from your job description?
She was also the first AD.
And the first AD.
A lot of people had like multiple jobs.
Well, it was certainly challenging, but can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. I was running around after Michael and making sure everybody else had their asses in gear, quite frankly.
Yeah, really, on a 12-day shoot, it's less of like a job and more of a sport.
So, questions?
Any
Question for Michael, in terms of the scenes, which scene or scenes were the most difficult in your life?
Well, I think the worst day that we had was, for me anyway, was the day that we were supposed to do all the interior driving sequence, okay? So basically, everything that was shot inside of the car, like me talking to him and her telling him he had a little talk and all that kind of that, all that, anything that was shot interior car was basically shot at one location, and it was shot in one guy's driveway. He had a circular driveway, okay, but he had woods on all sides, so you really couldn't tell. And it was a long driveway. But we all got up there and we parked, and the whole crew got ready to start shooting. And I guess we parked on somebody else's property, which she wasn't very happy about. And so then we all had to move our cars, and we all had to move our cars into that same circle that we were going to be driving around and around and around without the cars being seen.
There was no driving around.
And it was not like it was a nightmare. We would just shoot for like about 100 feet, 100, and then stop and then go back and then shoot. It was like really a rough day that we barely got through.
We kept knocking over her cones that she put out. We kept driving over them.
That was every day was pretty. I mean, when you're doing 45 setups a day, it's just like every day is for me was. It was very ambitious, and the movie, by the way, has been. Usually, people come to film festivals to. They want people to see their movies, get reviewed, and so on and so forth. And so somebody buys the movie. That's really the bottom line why we come to these things. And our movie we've sold it. We sold it to Anchor Bay, and we sold it for a nice upfront six-figure upfront figure, and we made it for a very, very small amount of money. So we're real happy about that. We've already sold it in 6 or 7 markets overseas, and we've got like 40 other markets to sell it in. So I'm sure that it will be, successful in that sense. And you know, we've shown it now probably about between 15 and 20 times, and we've shown it in Texas 3 or 4 times. We've shown it in Spain. We showed it in Japan. We showed it in Ireland. We've shown it, you know, just all over except for Arizona. And you know, we have already been reviewed by Ain't It Cool News, by CNN, by who else?
Joe, Arrow in the Head,
San Francisco Chronicle. If you go to, now you've seen the movie, it doesn't really make any difference. But anyway, everybody's been very kind to us, and it's really, it just turned out to be this kind of wonderful little success story. And I'm just very grateful for everybody that worked on it, and you know, everybody that supported me. Like I said, my family, and my brother came up to watch, and
He's in the movie.
he's in the making of the movie. We have a making of, and you know, the thing about it, you got to remember, is when you have like $100,000 in 6 weeks to build a house, you know, you're going to be able to build a nice little house or whatever. But when you got $10,000 in a week to build a house, it's going to be a different kind of house, you know. And that's what we did here, was we made this for virtually nothing, you know. I mean, people talk about the Terminator being, you know, it was made for $6.5 million 25 years ago, and that was considered a low-budget movie at that time. And we didn't, we were like, you know, almost 10 times less than that, you know, the money that we spent. So, you know, we didn't spend, most of the money actually went into my salary.
Any other questions? Yeah.
I just want to ask how involved you guys were in post and how difficult it was, you know, editing. Did you hand it off, or were you there doing
No,
it?
he didn't hand anything
Okay, that's
off.
just my question.
Not one thing.
No, I had a,
We got an editor. I mean, everybody, he'd never edited a film before. But he had done, I guess, commercials, and what, you know, where did we find our editor?
We found our editor from the Post facility that we were working with, and he had edited some short films and commercials, but this was his first actual feature, like, you know, with scenes, and so Michael got to teach him about dramatic tension and editing.
And I had never edited before either, so I thought, looking back at it, you know, I thought we did a really good job editing the movie, and then after you edit the movie, you have to do all the, you know, all the sound, something, you know, I didn't realize, all the sound, all the effects, all the looping that you need to do, you know, and then there's visual effects, and we fall down a little bit on visual effects because we didn't have the money. There's certain things in the movie you could look at and go, well, didn't I see, you know, and so on and so forth. The visual effects, we thought we were going to get more from the company that we worked with. But, and then there, you know, once I finished the movie, I was done with the visual effects and done with, you know, and the music is another thing too. You have to deal with the guy who scores the music, and the music, the guy who did the music for this is a very talented guy who does all of Jim Cameron's underwater stuff, all the stuff that he's done underwater for like Titanic and all that stuff. And stuff he did, and so he's a very talented guy. So I never worked with the music guys. The post work, the visual effects stuff. There is visual effects shots in here, like the moon, for instance. The reason I yelled, I was yelling while I was making the movie, you know, don't give me that, it's a full moon, I can read a book. If I had one, was because I didn't know if I was going to have the money to be able to have a shot of a full moon. So we ended up, you know, having a visual effect guy put that full moon in that shot. It turned out to be very easy, but there's a lot of visual effects I wish I had more money for, which I could clean up a little bit more. But you know what? It's a kind of a rickety little movie, so it's fine what it is.
Yeah, hi. So nice to see you again. The other day.
I just wanted to ask a question. I know since this is your directorial debut, I just wanted to ask what was your favorite part? What was the favorite thing about directing?
Well, the thing about the thing about this movie was that we made it for such a small amount of money that for, you know, if you're standing on a really stupid looking set, or you're saying really stupid dialogue, or your wardrobe looks really stupid or whatever, you're going to look stupid as an actor. I mean, you can take Robert De Niro and put him on a set that looks like shit and looks fake, and he's not going to be able to pull it off. So I basically said, this was such a small amount of money, I said to the guys who gave me the money, I'll do it, but I have to have all the creative control. Meaning, I cast it, it's going to be, I can shoot it, I'm going to shoot it the way I want to shoot it, I'm going to cut it the way I want to cut it, it's going to be as long as I want it to be, I'm going to edit it the way I want it to be, I'm going to put music on it the way I want. Now, I had a lot of support, a lot of help from everybody, but the bottom line was when it came down to, like, the final decision, was me. Like, and for instance, like the way the movie ends, I had so much fucking pushback on that ending. You know, people just like going like, you can't end the movie like that. And yes, I can. So I had all of those decisions, and then Lorna and John, they're the production people, but like I had all the decisions. They would come to me if we decided we needed to change locations or, you know, whatever. All the production decisions they usually made, but if there was a problem or if somebody had to make a decision, I was the last person to come to. And then who we sold the movie to, how much we sold it for, was going to be my decision. And so I had total control over this movie. And that's something that like maybe Cameron's got, maybe Spielberg's got with the bigger movies. But almost every director in television, every director in movies, nobody's got like what they call final cut. The companies have always got final cut. Otherwise, directors always want their movies like 2.5 hours long. My problem was I didn't have enough movie, you know. I like just shoving stuff in there. That's why there's so many car sequences. It's like padding, you know, just to make it long enough to appear like it's a real movie. So that's that.
First of all, thank you. I really enjoyed the movie.
Thank you.
And you all did a good job. I hope you guys are successful. And the other thing is, when I watched Planet Terror and Grindhouse with Laura Lewis and I really hope to see more movies like that. You know, and that wasn't the case. So thank you for coming up with something like this. I really enjoyed it. And my question is, what's next for all of you guys? And maybe for you as a director, are you seeing yourself directing?
Why don't you talk about what you're doing next, and then you guys can talk about what you got.
Well, John's got a movie in the festival, and a lot of us have different things going on and some things together, but Michael and I have partnered with a director that he's worked with in the past, and we have 3 movies that are going to be directed by a bunch of foreign directors, but Michael's going to star in all of them. I'll probably star in one. Hopefully we can get Danny into one. Maybe Lorna's going to come out and help us. We'll see. But one's called The Farm, one's called The Predicator, and the other's called Up and Down. So that's what
all little grindhouse movies.
All little grindhouse
Okay,
movies.
cool.
Zombies, you know, an elevator kind of like devil movie, and then like about a bad priest, a bad preacher that is a TV evangelist that's doing really bad things.
Can you imagine?
And yeah, John can tell you about his movie that's in the.
I don't know how I went up with it. We have a short that's playing in the sci-fi side of the festival tomorrow at 9:45 a.m. If you want to check it out. And it's a little, well, I can't really give it away or describe it without giving the entire thing away. 'Cause it's only short, but it's a nice little romantic piece in sci-fi. It's called Secret Identity.
Lorna's got a movie that's in post right now.
I have 2 in post. I have a high school wrestling called Beyond the Mat, and then actually another one that John and I worked on this past summer called Sighting. And yeah, it's supposed to be
And
A movie called Sex Evil Genius is like a black comedy. Seth Green, William Baldwin, and Yeah, it's gonna be a Lionsgate.
Got a
Actually.
release date on that yet, Dave?
No, but Lionsgate actually bought it, so it's a good thing. Yeah, yeah, let me tell you about the victim. And I'm actually doing a movie in July called Transloco, which is the same writer who did Simone. And it's cool.
I just want you guys to know, Anchor Bay is releasing The Victim in September in North America, so hopefully you guys can all get on the internet and support it if you like it. If you like it, then
If you like it, tell your friends. Time for one more question.
Okay. You mentioned at the beginning that if you entertained us for the duration of the movie, then you've done your job. You did do your job. Thank you. If it wasn't in full time. I couldn't help but notice that there was a scene in the movie where you mentioned that hurt. Don't do that again. And your character's name was Kyle. I really wanted to know if that was like a little nod.
I'll
to
tell
your
you
role in
this,
Terminator.
here's the nod, you know, really in the movie. And, you know, basically the opening shot with the car going is kind of a shout out to Stanley Kubrick, who did The Shining, and has this like super long car sequence at the beginning of his movie. Now his is obviously much more beautiful, much more elaborate. And the opening credits, we basically, I have a kind of a relationship with David Fincher, who cut me out of Aliens. And it's not an Alien sequence anymore. He's a director, Academy Award-winning director, great guy. He's got, what's the girl in the
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great director. And,
We ripped him off.
We kind of like, the opening kind of sequence, that was like a little homage to him. And then, of course, Kyle, we named after the character that I played in The Terminator. And then, of course, the medieval line that Denny says comes from Quentin Tarantino, who I work with. And my favorite director, one of my favorite directors is Clint Eastwood. And in The Unforgiven, basically, you know, he's got his, you know, you've seen The Unforgiven, that's a shout out to him. So they're all kind of, you know, there's a few different things that I'm not even sure that like my mother or that you guys understand. There's a few books sitting around that, there's a few other little things in there that I think will come out in time if you really pay attention to it. But it was kind of just a shout out to directors that I respected, and Ed Lamato was my agent for 25 years who passed away. That's his last name that I used. And there's a lot of that in the movie. Just we did that for fun. It was, you know, the whole thing is just kind of meant to be fun. You know, it was meant to be like I said, like cotton candy. You walk out of here, it's like, yeah, it was great. Forget all about it. You know, it's not like anything heavy or anything you're going to be discussing tomorrow at the water take or whatever. It's like, you see that? Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, whatever. You know, and that's it. You know? And
I think you're going to be discussing it, but that's just.
Right?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
If everyone could just remain in your seats for just a moment while our guests go over to the party pavilion where they'll be signing autographs and stuff. So.